Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you're joining us from here on WJOB 1230 AM 104.7 FM. If you're listening live, that's where you are. And if you're listening us on playback or on demand, you might be following us on Jet TV, YouTube, or Spotify. And wherever you're watching us from, we thank you very much. I'm your host, John Massey, joined alongside Matt Lansky and Caleb Bernard. Anthony Hudson may be joining us later, but for the time being, this is your crew ahead of you. It is that time of year where the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs are set to begin, and there's no better time to talk about what we think will happen. We're going to get it right out of the way. You guys have been asking about it. Why the shirt? Those of you who are just listening on the radio, it's a nice floral shirt, Tommy Bahama type thing. This is my Cancun shirt because that's where most of these people are ending up in about a week. So this is I could also call it my Atlanta Hawks shirt because that's where they are right now. We'll start with you, Caleb. Caleb, how you doing? You like the Cancun shirt?
Yeah, you know what's clever. I like it.
I appreciate that.
I'm ready.
I appreciate that. Matt, how you doing up there?
I'm doing really good.
Where do you guys want to begin? Do you want to begin in the West or the East for the NBA? Full disclaimer, it is Wednesday night at the time of recording this. This video is getting released Thursday night. So some of the play-ins have not happened yet, so we're going in blind. But let's be realistic, a play-in team at this point is not beating a number 1 or a number 2 seed. But where do you guys... Let's start in the West. How about that? Let's start in the West. You know what? Let's start in the East because I feel like it's easier.
Yeah, the East is a little bit easier.
The East is a little bit easier this year. So, finally, final seeds after the Celtics tried to race as hard as they could, and it was a valiant effort at one point. The Cavaliers locked in the 1 seed, and they take on the winner of either the Atlanta Hawks, who they lost today against the Magic, and they will play the winner of the Bulls versus the Heat. So pretty much the Cavs are going to have to go up against the Bulls, the Heat, or the Hawks. I'm going to safely assume everyone here believes the Cavs are winning that series.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see a scenario where that doesn't happen.
There's some report that said that the Cavs could be scared of the Bulls, remember? So
Was it you?
Is that a real reporter? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Someone said it. I don't know. Just it was out there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's move down to the 2 versus now the 7 seed, the Boston Celtics versus the Magic. I watched a little bit of this game when I was in class a few moments ago. The Magic look really good, but the Celtics are the Celtics at this point. Is it a tough fight for the Celtics, or is it just kind of just a set in stone series already, Matt?
I think it's a set-in-stone series. I don't see the Celtics. They were fighting for the number 1 seed. Magic they're not a bad team, obviously. They're a 7th seed now, for sure. But Celtics are an experienced team. They've won a championship with this core. I don't see them struggling. Maybe they drop a game, but I don't see anything past that.
It's the first round's best of 5, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, so a little bit easier to obtain. Caleb, how about you?
A little bit of food for thought. They played maybe 6 days ago, and Orlando won. However, they benched everybody. They benched JT and they benched Brown. I think the Celtics, we all know what they are. They're a contender. I think they handled the Magic convincingly. Magic, they're young, but it's not their time.
The Magic need some changes, and I think some changes are going to come this offseason with the trade market. I think they're going to get another star to pair up with Paolo. Jalen Suggs is just too injury prone, and if that's supposed to be your number 2 star, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, maybe who is their number 2 star? Is it Franz Wagner?
I'd say Franz, yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. No disrespect to Franz Wagner. That's a problem. Let's move up to the 4 and the 5 seed. We are once again getting another rematch between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. This is right now one of the most slept on rivalries in the NBA, and it has been for the last couple of years. I don't know what it is about it. These two small market teams they go to war every time they play each other. Do we know what is Dame playing? Do we know that?
No, he's out for the season. He's got a blood clot. They're still working on that. Hopefully everything goes okay with that. Like, that's a very serious thing, but Pacers take this. Giannis is good. He needs help. That was the whole reason he had help during his championship run. He needs help. He's not getting by the Pacers. They're a team that was disappointed in last season. They're looking for a nice bounce back. Unfortunately for them, they beat the Bucks. They run into the Cavs. So
does the addition of Kyle Kuzma and Kevin Porter Jr., who's been really good this season, is that the support? I mean, you got to think back to the Milwaukee. You just mentioned him at the Milwaukee championship. Chris Middleton was a good player, but he wasn't like sensational. And then he made a massive step up in the playoffs. So can you see anyone on this Bucks team making that massive step up the way Chris Middleton did and getting Giannis that help?
Do I see someone making a step up, and can I put a name on that person? No. Obviously, it's kind of like, March Madness. You don't know who's going to step up when they will, but maybe there will be someone that makes it really competitive. Like you said, this has been a good rivalry for the past couple seasons, and it could get even better after this series. But I just don't see the Bucks holding on to this one unless Giannis goes complete 2019, 2020. Who knows?
Yeah. Now joining us is the host of It's My Turn with Anthony Hudson. Anthony Hudson, thank you for showing up here. And I want to quick disclaimer here. So this is my Atlanta Hawks shirt because this is the shirt I'm going to wear to Cancun.
Cancun for what? We still got, the echo is crazy. Cancun for what? We still got to beat the Heat or the Bulls. The heck?
And then you get to play the Cavs, bro.
Hey, bro, Cancun, bro. We still in the playoffs. It don't matter, bro. Don't count us out yet.
Someone on Stream East earlier was someone on Stream East was calling them the Atlanta Gawks.
Did you see live on television? Shaquille O'Neal did a borough ceremony for the Atlanta Hawks.
That's disrespectful.
He grabbed the box and he grabbed Harry the Hot mascot, put it in a box, and said, "How do I say goodbye?" And then he started singing it. You know how he be saying, ah, ah, ah. He started saying, ah, ah, ah. Bro, Shaquille O'Neal is hilarious.
That was prime Shaquille O'Neal right there. And we kind of already glazed past the first rounds, the play-ins.
We're glazing?
Really quickly. Yeah.
Who are we glazing?
I mean, LeBron.
LeBron.
Did you see that
aura? The aura from Shannon Sharp.
Video? He's like, I know, Shannon.
Yeah. But no, and we already touched upon the Celtics and the Magic, and we talked about these teams facing the Cavs. But what you just walked in on was us talking about the Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks and the rivalry they've had for the last couple of years. What's your opinion on these two teams facing off once again?
Bucks are pretty much over with. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't have the manpower. Giannis, it's a really sad situation. Giannis is literally on a team where he's the only person that could get points, that could keep the tempo. Pacers are nice. Pacers are looking pretty good, honestly. I really see the Pacers easily, like, in 5 games going to the next round. Like, 100%. They're been playing pretty good. Halliburton been shaky at the beginning, but now he's starting to get into his groove. So,
do you guys think that maybe Damian Lillard, like, Giannis has a championship. He has pretty much every accolade you could possibly have at this point. So now he's just like legacy cementing, right? Do you think Damian Lillard tells Giannis the loyalty ain't worth it? Because who has more experience of being let down by their team than Damian Lillard?
No. Giannis, there's no leaving with Giannis, bro. Giannis is going to stay a Buck forever. Honestly, I would want him to leave. He should go to Miami. If we're really being honest, that would be a great acquisition for him to go to Miami. But he's not leaving. Giannis is too loyal. And honestly, did we ever think Damian Lillard was going to leave? I mean, I didn't think Damian Lillard was going to leave. And the same thing for Giannis. I don't feel like Giannis is going to leave and go anywhere. He got too much acquisitions, got a family, a home. He's been there for 11 years now? He's been in the league for 11 years? There's no leave.
I compare Giannis to Milwaukee, what Luka felt about Dallas. They weren't going to leave. They love Dallas. They love the people there. They love the fans. If he does leave, it's not by his choice.
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that. Giannis has been pretty vocal about if the team, Giannis is the biggest guy where it's like, hey, I'm going to give all I possibly can to win. If the organization I'm with is not going to reciprocate that, then I'm not going to be in this organization. And so I asked the question because there's already talks of him leaving. So that's why I bring the question up, because it is a topic of conversation. Caleb, what do you think?
He is rooted there, right? He does have he's brought his family in. It's been well documented. family members that maybe didn't deserve a spot on that team gotten a spot on that team, and that's kind of a luxury you get with a small market team like that. He is 30, right? He's not the young gun that he was. With his style of play, he's not a shooter, right? He's not a 3-point. He's not gonna pull up. So I want to see how he ages and how he adapts to how he ages, because he can't be this athletic freak for the rest of his life. It's impossible. So
I'm sorry. It's impossible.
Okay.
We seeing a 40-year-old man right now doing
What do
it.
you mean by freak? What do you mean by freak?
I'm just
Ding, ding.
You think he's gonna age like LeBron? You think he's really gonna age like LeBron?
Yes.
I mean,
we do.
Dude, they call him. Listen, they call him the freak for a reason.
He's the Greek freak. He literally is the Greek freak.
He's probably the most in shape guy in the NBA. I'm willing to put my money on the line. I mean, Mikal Bridges is probably up there. yeah, you think so? You think so?
Terrible. That's terrible. But like, he's not. He's not
like John Morant's security guard. That guy's got to be really, really in shape. Go ahead, Caleb. I'm sorry.
He's not gonna do this forever, right? He's not. He's gonna have to adapt his game because he's just. Well, we saw this with Derrick Rose. We saw this with a bunch of people. So I kind of want to see how he develops and carves his game to be like, okay, I'm not gonna take the ball and run down go court to court and dunk it. So how am I gonna change and how am I gonna be able to play? And maybe the Bucks don't need that. Maybe the Bucks are gonna be like, okay, well, we need to see a better fit, or we need a better person, or we might have the answer to someone's prayer that we could get like a couple picks for. So I want to see how that happens because he's
Look,
good,
y'all,
so we're gonna see.
Respectfully, Giannis is not going nowhere. And I 100% agree with you, Matt. Unless they trade him, unless it's just a record-breaking deal, or unless he gets injured, and I don't see Giannis getting injured. I mean, Giannis is literally their face. Won an MVP there, won a championship there. Has no decline as of right now. Literally is one of the most physical players in a weak NBA environment compared to what I say the 90s and the 80s for sure. I feel like. There's no point in him leaving, or I don't feel like he's going to leave. And if he does leave, like I said, Miami should go to Miami.
I got a question.
If he does get traded, I feel like he should go to Miami. Get traded.
Have you ever been to Athens? Greece. Athens, Greece, not Athens, Georgia, or whatever the Bulldogs play. Athens, Greece. All right, it's pretty sunny, pretty nice up there. It's the opposite of Milwaukee. The complete opposite. Do you think he wants
Caleb, he's been there for 11 years. Like, I'm pretty sure he's gotten used to the cold weather, Caleb. I'm pretty sure he's gotten used to it.
I don't think. I
think that man could buy Greece and just move it to Milwaukee if he wanted to. Like, you know, like Greece. It can't be hard to emulate that. Like, I'm sorry, like, just get a sauna. Like, it's a little cold. Like, you know what McDavid does when he lives in Edmonton? He has a heated driveway. He just adapts, bro. That's all he does.
The top two greatest Greek people of all time. Number one, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number two, Percy Jackson. All right. The real ones know. We're going to move on now. We're going to move down to the middle section of the Eastern Conference. The Knicks versus the Pistons. Man, I cannot wait for this to be clipped and then shown on First Take in 2 weeks. Man, the Knicks are getting knocked out in the first round.
But yeah.
Getting
Knicks
knocked out.
Gone.
The Knicks are losing in the first round of the playoffs.
That's so sad. And literally, I was just talking about it a couple of weeks ago, how they might make the second round. I do not see it anymore. I do not see them beating Ivy, K. Cunningham. Is he back? Like, is
he's
he back healthy? Okay. Yeah, no.
I have
Don't
infiltrated my way. I have tricked my algorithm to put me into Knicks fans' social media. Okay.
Wow.
I saw somebody today where it said, if they lose, Karl Anthony Towns, get rid of that bum. Like, Knicks fans already hate this team. Knicks fans hate the New York Knicks more than anybody else.
They're just tired, man. They're just tired of losing. And it's so sad because it's like, this is the biggest market in America. Like, literally in America. Like, New York, who wouldn't want to go to New York and play? But it's so sad because it's like, I would love to go to the city. I would love to be in an environment. But all of these teams suck except the Yankees. All of these teams suck. The Jets suck. The Giants suck. The Knicks suck. I don't know. The Mets, is the Mets in New York? I don't know. Is that New York?
Yes.
Are they good?
No.
They suck. It's literally like
the Mets are never going to be good.
How are you the biggest market in America and can't
are the Rangers
talent?
Good?
Like
think about the
no, they missed the playoffs.
Are the Islanders good?
Everyone that touched the basketball knows about Rucker Park. Everyone knows about the Harlem Globetrotters. This is the home of basketball, and they sucked since we've been born. They suck. They have been terrible since TV's been black.
Hey, what about the Brooklyn Nets?
Dude, you know who the best team in New York is right now? Probably the Liberty.
Yeah, literally, that's the best team.
No, I'm not saying anything about the WNBA, not talking about that. I'm just saying, out of all the teams that you have with all these worldwide athletes, and I bet you not one of us can name 5 players on the Liberty.
I only name Breonna Stewart. That's it.
I'm gonna pose a serious question. Who was more important in the Nets franchise, D'Lo or Playboy Cardi? Which one was more important to the Nets franchise?
Dude, the Playboy Cardi vibes. The Playboy Cardi vibes was a real part.
Cardi clip revived that franchise.
The Playboy Cardi Young Nudie.
Listen, let me bring this up to you. Here's a point, real quick. There's only one football team who plays their home games in New York. The Bills.
The Bills.
The Jets and the Jets and the Giants. The New York Jets and the New York Giants don't even play in New York.
Oh, dang.
So anyway, back to basketball though. Dude, I don't know. Like, listen, man, Tom Thibodeau, one of these guys is going to explode on the court. They're just going to die. Jalen Brunson is going to turn to dust.
I don't even think so, John. It's going to be 4 or 5 games. I don't even think they can make it to where they will tear an ACL or MCL. It's going to be over with. It's going to be over with 4 or 5 games.
He finds a way. Believe me. He finds a way. Jalen Brunson's going to have like 45 points off of like 38 minutes or something. And he's going to be like, Coach, I need a break. We're up by 20. He's like, I need you to drive to the hole and get that 20 first. He's going to do it. He's going to break somebody.
Hey, thank God there's not 2 minutes left against the Philadelphia 76ers and you're up by 12. Thank God that's not a possibility for the Knicks this year. I'd fear for Jalen Brunson's life if they were going up against the Sixers.
I'd fear for his left knee. I would.
It's very true. Caleb?
So are we ready for this? Is the Pistons' first time in the playoffs since God knows when, right? Technically, the Knicks have more playoff experience than the Pistons, right? That's what I'm going to pose to you. Do you think that's going to have any effect on this series? The fact that this is the first time that these men have showed up to this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more funnier come 2 weeks from now when we're not talking about the Knicks.
Oh, okay.
This is a scrappy team. Basketball analytics aside, this is a team who hustles. This is a team who is willing to fight you. It's Detroit. They've had to carry the torch of being Detroit. They were the worst team in basketball history last year. They were the Chicago White Sox of basketball last year. And it's like they're finally in the playoffs and they're going up against the all-powerful New York Knicks. Dude, first of all, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fight, at least 2 in this series.
Yeah, definitely. What's that dude that be
And you know what it's going to be?
Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart. Knicks fans.
Isaiah Stewart.
Bro, Mr. Crash Out himself, Isaiah Stewart.
What's the guy? The father and the son who like stream Laos, or you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. Those 2 guys are gonna fight Jalen Brunson in the parking lot post game.
Yeah, the fight is gonna be between the Knicks fan in the third row who like spent his son's income and like savings to get this seat. and he's just gonna go ham on Jalen Brunson. He's gonna start throwing popcorn, everything. We're gonna have another Malice in the Palace.
I can't, dude. I'm so here for it. This is why I think we should, again, I think Rob talked about this like 3 weeks ago. We should introduce, you get to fight a fan. You get to fight a fan once per season, and in the playoffs, it resets. So you get to fight one more fan per the playoffs.
Sound like a gulag.
Dude,
I'm telling you,
that's what
you
Madison
fight
Square Garden turns into.
Like prison. You just pick one guy out of the crowd and set the tone for the season. That's what you do.
Let's move over to the Western Conference. The OKC Thunder claimed the first seed easily. What is more surprising is the seeding that follows that. So the Houston Rockets fall to number 2, or rise to number 2, I should say. The Los Angeles Lakers are 3rd. The Denver Nuggets are 4th somehow. The Clippers are 5th. That I don't believe at all. I really don't believe that. And 6th are the 6th are the Minnesota Timberwolves. Currently, as we are currently recording, the Grizzlies and the Warriors are facing off in the 7 and 8 seed. It looks like the Warriors are going to win the game handily, so they're take on
12.
They will take on the Rockets, and then the Kings and the Mavericks are the 9 and 10 spot. The winner of that game moves on to the loser of the game currently taking place. I want to bring something up real quick. The Phoenix Suns are not in the playoffs.
They're terrible.
I'm addicted. You haven't been back.
He's not on that team no more.
I don't care. It was funny. I don't care. Is he in the playoffs?
I'm addicted to playing in the playoffs. Congratulations to Chris Paul for being 4 years sober now, once again. The Spurs are going to get Cooper Flag. I just feel it. Dude, you know who had the Bulls had a better record than the Suns.
Cooper Flag is going to turn into the next, if the Spurs get him, he's going to turn into the next Tim Duncan.
No, he's going to turn into the next Dirk Nowitzki.
No way, man. If the Spurs get him, Tim Duncan's right there on the bench.
Let me back up. I want to say something real quick. Let's go back to the Eastern Conference. So the Bulls are at the 9 spot. And I've heard a bunch of articles, a bunch of Chicago beat writers talk about and mention over again how the Bulls this season have an identical record to the Bulls last season. And once again, the Bulls are in the play-in. I want to say, though, that is a great accomplishment for the Bulls this year. No DeRozan. You lose Zach LaVine halfway through. You pretty much have an entire roster of either young guys, talent you want to build around, or dudes you just picked up off of trades. And you have a record similar to the team you had with a much bigger salary cap. Obviously, you're not going to get a high draft seed now because of it. But still, it's a good thing for the Bulls, I think, to be in this position with the roster they currently have. Does anyone disagree with that?
It's the same record, but it has a different feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Bulls team is fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Oh, by the way, I'm watching right now. Shaq, he's trying to revive that bird. And he's giving CPR to the bird. All right. Back to the West though, and we're not talking about the Phoenix Suns. Can you, dude, a team with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker doesn't make it to the playoffs? Doesn't make it to the play-in? And
Devin
Bradley
Booker
Beal?
Been the same, bro. Devin Booker
and Bradley Beal
since the finals.
Bradley Beal's a robber, bro.
They fired Budenholzer.
Bradley Beal should literally be arrested, bro. Like, he should be cuffed. He should be in chains. In chains. Yes, I can say that. Bro, this is huh? You know why? Well, you know why?
Go ahead.
No, that's all I want to say.
Okay. Caleb's gone. Caleb left. Caleb, what are you doing? For those of you who are watching on Jed TV, Spotify, or YouTube, you just got a treat for yourself. I really hope. Man. Let's talk about basketball now. Let's talk about.
He is a robber.
Let's talk about basketball, guys. Let's start with.
Why you sound like an elementary school teacher?
Because you guys act like children sometimes, so that's how I have to talk. If I don't talk like an elementary school teacher, Caleb won't get it. The Nuggets and the Clippers. Let's start there.
Okay.
Once again, the Nuggets fired their head coach last week. The Clippers, from what I've been told, I haven't watched them the entire. I really thought I was going to watch the Clippers a lot this season. I was actually pretty excited about the Clippers a couple months ago with the new team, the new facilities, new jerseys, new everything. Paul George left, Westbrook left, so I wasn't interested. From what I've been told, Kawhi Leonard is back. How long is that going to last, though?
Yeah.
Load management.
James Harden's been cooking
management.
Through this series,
So
listen.
I'm going. Yeah, go.
I'm telling you, Zubac is back too. And I feel like he might actually lock up Joker. He might actually take Joker.
Isn't that a Pokemon?
This year. You think you're funny. No, he's the slender guy that the Lakers got rid of. And the Clippers, they're reaping the benefits for getting that guy. He's actually been playing well. Harden's been playing well. Leonard's been playing well.
Check this.
In fact, this team might actually be better than the Lakers, right? But they're not getting the hype because they're not wearing gold and purple. So I'd keep a good eye on this team. A good eye.
Check this out. James Harden, last 5 games, 29, 21, 35.
He's averaging
33, and 39. Bro, James Harden's been cooking, bro. I'm telling you, that's what it's been. And look at this. These are all resulted in wins. They won their last 9 games. Mm-hmm. And more, probably.
I think they beat the Nuggets because the Nuggets
strip clubs in LA need to be on watch.
Let me tell you something. You don't want to see you don't want to see those Colorado Mountain High strip clubs, man. You don't want to see them. Some nasty things going on in those Colorado strip clubs. Let's move on. Let's move on. We need to make predictions here. Are we taking the Clippers?
Clippers, yes.
I think this is going to be a situation. I think this is going to be a situation where Jokic does the exact same thing he did last year against the Timberwolves, where he literally throws up a stat line that has never been seen before in NBA history. But Jamal Murray forgets how to play Jamal Murray throws up the Instagram video, and Aaron Gordon gets injured, and there's nothing's going to happen. What are you guys laughing about? Let's move on to the Lakers and the Timberwolves. I think this is going to be one of the most exciting playoff series we see the entire year. No? Why is that, Ant?
Well, it should be fairly
Put your hand down, Matthew.
Only because Anthony Edwards has been streaky all season. I mean, he's had the past couple of weeks pretty good performances, but it's been pretty shabby for eight. Just compare it from last season. Just compare it to last season. Now, if he goes, what's like the chance of him doing it again? Like last year, he had that amazing playoff run, and it's just like I don't see that happening again. Like that's so hard to do for him to beat the defending championships last year, the Denver Nuggets, and to completely just go on these epic performances every single night. I don't see them doing that. And the fact that it's going against the Lakers in the very first round, no, man, that's not happening. What? Put it up, Matt. What'd you say? Lakers, that's it for sure. Yeah,
I don't know, man. I do think Anthony Edwards is the guy that you're referring to. I think you talk about it. It's difficult to have a generational playoff run. Right, every single year. There's only a couple of guys in NBA history who can do that. He's going up against a person who can do that. He's going up against 2 guys who historically have put up a great playoff performance every time they've been in the playoffs. I think Anthony Edwards is the next guy. I think Anthony Edwards is the next dude in this next generation of basketball players who is that playoff performer, who he is that new guy coming up. That's what I think. I think the Timberwolves lose because the rest of their team is bad. Right? You have Rudy, the fraud, Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Gobert. And then you got 2 guys from the Knicks who, I mean, say what you want, Randall and DiVincenzo have just not fit into this Timberwolves team. They just haven't. They have not.
Nas Reed still doing his thing.
Jaden McDaniels is a phenomenal defender. I think he'll play a really big role in this series, but I think that it goes to the Lakers just because you have 2 generational players in their like prime playing position. I disagree with you. I think Anthony Edwards has a good series. I just think the Lakers outclass them.
Okay. Maybe that's a better answer because I just don't see it being because Anthony Edwards is going to have great performances. We know that, but it's not going to result in anything. If that's what you're saying, like it's still going to be Lakers at 5, but it's going to be exciting. He's going to have because Anthony Edwards. He still led the league in 3 pointers this year. So he still is a great player, but it's exciting, but it's just not going to result in them winning games. I guess that's kind of the point I'm making.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be entertaining, right? I feel like it's with Luka, right? Luka and LeBron, Gobert. It's gonna be like a very heavyweight matchup. I do not see the Timberwolves advancing though. I don't know. I think I can see it going either way, right? I can see it going either way, actually, right? Because the Lakers sometimes their lack of stakes on defense, right? Gobert, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. You got to guard him, and he's gonna give you 40, 30 a night, whatever. So I think it's a supporting cast battle between the Lakers and the Timberwolves. And I've seen streaks on both ends. I've seen Luka go cold. I've seen, Ant can go cold. So I think it might be like a 7-6 game series. I can see it going either way.
What are we talking? Guys, the first round of the playoffs is only 5 games.
Oh my God, 5.
You can't be going 7 games in a 5-game series.
You know what I mean. I can see it going all the way. I can see it being competitive 5,
Adam Silver's like, this series is making me too much money to go 5 games. Click. Lakers in 5? Nah, Lakers in 7. Yeah.
LeBron is never making out of the
We're playing 82 more games of just Lakers and Timberwolves.
What? Why does Adam Silver sound like that?
It's gonna sound like Teddy Long.
But this is listen, this should be this is not going to be I don't think this is going to be an all-time great playoff. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, like, is anyone in the West beating the Thunder?
No.
Listen, hear me out.
Like, hear me out. The Lakers.
Dude, I'm not going to say the Lakers, but hear me out. I think the Thunder collapse at one point. Now, whether or not, I'm not saying they're going to lose, but I'm saying they're going to collapse.
There has been playing the most concise, fundamental, exciting basketball I've seen all year. I don't see it collapsing in the playoffs. I don't.
If SGA doesn't get 50 attempts at a free throw a night, they don't win.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I can see that happening, bro. I can, you know what? I'm going to turn into every NFL broadcaster. I'm going to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs here, all right? The Kansas City Chiefs, they got
he looks a little Mahomey.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looked a little Mahomey throughout the season, all right? They got a lot of calls. He got put on the free throw line a lot, right? Guess what happened to the Chiefs when they didn't get the calls in the Super Bowl? They looked bad. I'm just saying there might come a series or a game where the OKC Thunder don't get any calls, and you might get exposed.
Using a team that made it to the Super Bowl to compare a team that you don't think would come out the West. Okay, John. Okay. I definitely see what you're saying, though.
He's a troll.
When Patrick Mahomes didn't get those calls, it definitely shifts the game. But J-Dub,
I think
they got it. They got it, bro. They got the players. They got it.
You guys both just talked about you both just talked about how shady the Lakers and the Timberwolves have been. We talked about what's going on with the Nuggets bench and the Clippers and how they look. You can't tell me that every single man on the 15-man roster is going to be perfect throughout an entire playoff run. It's not going to happen.
Hey, but that's a different thing, though. With the Timberwolves, if AE doesn't play good, or is they going to beat the Lakers? No, they're not at all. We don't see it at all.
Same thing.
But if Shai doesn't have the best game,
if Shai doesn't play good, the Thunder aren't winning.
And Shai, I respect that, but it's different because if AE doesn't play have a good performance, the whole entire series, they're going to get swept. If I can't say that for Shai. I can't. I really can't because they have other players that's been playing good for them.
I haven't seen that. And so here's the thing. And you are correct. You are correct. But I think this is the Shai's consistency, Mr. Consistent. His consistency, I think, is eventually hurts the Thunder because they have not had to play without Shea Gilgeous-Alexander being Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's probably going to win MVP this year, right? Especially after what's going on with the Nuggets. Shea definitely wins MVP, right? They haven't had to deal with a game where Shea has not been Shea. And so to your point, if they have to deal with one game where someone else has to pick up the slack, I don't think they could do it simply because I don't think they know how.
Respect that. But
look at it last year. Look at it last year. The Grizzlies, right? Ja Morant was out for half of the season. No, Ja Morant was out for the entire season last year. I think he played 2 games, right? The Grizzlies were still winning games last year. And one of my buddies, my buddy Drew, who I do UFC with, he put it the best way. Why are the Grizzlies so good at winning games right now? Because they have to. They have to be better because they don't have Ja Morant. They don't have the option to. And so I'm looking in a sense. Now I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just predicting what will happen if it does. But if Shea's not perfect, Caleb is now gone. Caleb has left the stream. He died from talking about the Thunder too much. We're going to try to get him back. We really can't have an NHL conversation without Caleb. So
West, breast, crest, Lakers in 5. Don't care. They got it on lock. Luka's already been in this conference finals.
Do you see what I'm saying, though?
I do see what you're saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It definitely is like a whole different tempo if Shea Alexander doesn't have a good performance. And that's going to be hard for other players to make up with that. But, I mean, let's not expect the worst, John. 7-game series. Let's not expect the worst. Let's expect the best. I mean, Shea been the guy the whole entire year. I don't see it falling here. I really do not. I really do not. So,
well, while we're getting Caleb up and ready here, as we can try to get him back into the show, let's talk about something really short, real quick. Let's see if he gets back in. He's just gone again. And you brought this up to us this morning, and it's something that I really quickly wanted to talk about. And it's that the WNBA is having to increase security and precautions towards their players dealing with harassment, threats of multiple levels. And I want to make a really quick statement here on behalf of all the No Game Scheduled. Can like we just like act like normal people? Like is that like an option? Like what people be having way too much time in their day to be going online and put in death threats towards Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and Paige. Like what are people doing? What are people doing? I'm kind of sad that this even has to be a conversation that we have to have.
bro,
This is I actually like bringing it to a different sport. There's a WWE wrestler right now. She has not been on TV for a couple months because somebody has been stalking her, like heavily stalking. Like WWE security has been involved. She is, I want to say, Japanese. She's Asian, of Asian descent. She's Japanese or Mongolian or Chinese, one of the three. And she has been on TV because somebody has been stalking her and tweeting at her every single day saying that they are following her and that they're going to find out everything about it. Like, it's just like a weird, like, I don't know what's going on right now, but this is like, it's becoming more of I'm sure it's been an issue. This is becoming more of a parent issue and something that they're actually not internalizing anymore.
it's scary, man. I mean, you think about it. I mean, what I want to base my whole calling on talking about athletes, talking about sports. And like, it gets to the point where people glorify these athletes and just like, I understand they're freakishly athletic. They have possessions that are God given, but they're still human, bro. Like, they still bleed. They still do all these humanly body things that you still do, bro. So like, glorifying them to the point that you stalked them, to the point where Breonna Stewart just won a championship, thinking about possibly revamping the WNBA. Her girlfriend getting anti-gay messages and death threats through emails. It's like, why is that a thing, bro?
And here's the thing too. Like, I understand what people might say about the four of us, where it's like, oh, we're like, we would be called hypocrites because we're out here, talking about athletes in a negative sense. It's like, we talk about athletes in a negative sense on like how they play, right? If a person takes a bunch of bad shots in a game, hey, they took a bunch of bad shots, right? But also, at the end of the day, I'm done thinking about it after this show. Like, I don't go online and look up people's addresses and personal information and spend more time throughout my day festering about it. And it, like, you know what I mean? Like, let it go. You have to let it go. You know, there was a commercial that ran throughout March Madness, and I'm sure you guys saw it, but it was talking about how, you know, it was essentially like, don't harass college athletes online. Don't be mad because you miss a parlay, or, you know, you place a, you know, over under bet. You know, don't like harass college athletes. And I like thought it was really funny at first, because I'm like, there's no way they actually have to like say that. And then I realized, no, they actually have to say that, because people don't know what to do with themselves when it comes to sports anymore. And that's just, I mean, just online in general, people don't know what to do with themselves.
And I'm going to say this last thing. I mean, people literally base their whole entire lives harassing players. And I think of like Angel Reese. Angel Reese is literally taking on this villain role. All throughout comments I see on Facebook, it's just her just bashing about what she's wearing, bashing about her going to this concert. And it's like, bro, let them live their lives. She is 24 years old, and these are 30 to 40-year-old men bashing her. That makes no sense to me. That would literally, if they saw her in real life, would be stunned and would not say a single word to her. That's the thing that kills me. Would never say a single word to her. They see her in real life, would be stunned. Like, oh my goodness, she's right in front of me. I watch you every day. You're my biggest fan. Like, crazy, bro. The online internet is just a different breed, bro, of just harassment.
Again, bro, I think Mike Tyson, I think he said, it's like, you know, people on the internet have gotten really comfortable saying whatever they want without being punched in the face. Now, like, that's kind of true. Yeah. Caleb, I know you joined late, but did you have any thoughts about, you know, all this stuff with the WNBA and having to take extra security precautions?
It happens all over, man. They've been harassing WWE superstar. They've been harassing. It sadly happens since the beginning of time. John Lennon got killed because they didn't know what to do with themselves over, you know, because people harass them. People, you know, so it's just a sad fact. It's a sad part of being a celebrity. Right, and it takes change. It does take change. So, unfortunately,
I think being a professional athlete is actually harder than being a celebrity, because I can't go on DraftKings and place a bet that Chris Evans is going to say a line in the new Avengers movie. You know what I mean? Like, people have money on athletes. They're equally as famous, and there's money involved now.
I bet Robert Downey Jr. did not get any threats or death threats whatsoever for accepting his role. However, I bet Luka Doncic got like threats because he like left the Lakers. And even though it wasn't his choice, I'm sure somebody was like, you could do something. Like, no, I didn't give him any threats for leaving the Lakers. He just didn't drop 20 when I bet like $40 on him, and the odds was like negative 2,000. He cost me like 40 cents.
Like, we just caught him like red-handed. Like, he just proved the point we were talking about.
I did not send threats to Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that was like, but again, it's like the threat of you losing 10 cents was between the four of us, which we put on our YouTube channel. Like, that's not a real thing. But listen, man, you go read some of these reports from the WNBA. These things are real. Like, listen, I feel nothing but, I mean, just my heartfelt, thoughts and prayers go out to all these WNBA players and just any athlete dealing with this, because this is just not acceptable. Just be normal. Can you just be like normal? Can that be like the theme of just life for the next couple of months? Just be a normal person and not harass people online. Like, it's crazy. That's crazy. We're going to move on. I'm sorry for the somber topic and getting a little bit more serious. Matt and Caleb, this is about to become your show for about 20 or so minutes. We talked about the NBA playoffs. Now it's time to talk about the NHL playoffs. But what's up?
No, Matt screen froze and he
was stuck in that face. He was stuck in the face. Yeah. That's gonna be. We're gonna clip that. All right out of the get go. We're just talking about putting money on athletes. You guys gotta go put money in the bank. You guys gotta go put money in the casino right now. Who are you taking to win?
New York.
Matt, you or me?
You can go first.
All right. Right, I've been tossing and turning about this. A lot of information out there. A lot a lot has happened, right? Teams are still getting in, piling in, blah, blah, right? And this is the most unpredictable league to get the team right. This is to get the winner right. As we know, it's goaltending, puck luck, who's hot, who's not, who has the forwards, who has this talent, heart. There's going to be a third liner who's probably going to be working at Arby's next year, who's going to score a game winner and push his team. Like it's nuts. It's pandemonium. It's mayhem. There's a couple teams that have on like a short list of who I think will go all the way. I'm still trying to get my words out and figure out who I want to pick. The Colorado Avalanche, all right, the Dallas Stars, Tampa, and do I want? I'm not gonna put the Maple Leafs up there, but I can see it. I'm not gonna say Maple Leafs. But they're that close. They're that close. But those three teams, I feel like, are the big ones for me, the juggernauts.
What about Washington, the Capitals with Alex?
Dude, they're pretty hot right now.
That's cool. That's cool and all. The goaltending. The goaltending makes me nervous on that team, right? Goaltending. I feel like it's also another thing where the best teams, like President's Trophy winner never wins it, or very seldom wins it. That team is good, but they're gonna have to play. They're gonna have to play either Lightning. They're gonna have to play the Maple Leafs. They might have to play even the Panthers. I feel like might be able to handle them. When you look at the teams they're playing, I don't think they go farther.
They got a tougher side of the bracket. That makes sense.
Why are you guys not talking about the Oilers, man?
Man, nobody did them.
Matt put money on he's gonna lose.
Matt, are you waiting to say something, or
I lost that parlay already? Yes, I'm waiting for Caleb to be done.
Caleb, are you done? Because I think Matt has a lot to say.
Matt, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay. It is so hard for me to go against Winnipeg right now. I understand the President's Trophy curse, whatever. I think that's true to an extent, but not actually true. I just think hockey is, like Caleb said, it's one of the most unpredictable sports. Outside of March Madness, you can't predict the hockey bracket. You just can't. There's no way. The problem with Winnipeg that I have, and this is the big thing about hockey, is, bouncing off what Caleb said, it's all about the goaltending. I mean, the Hawks won in 2010 just because Anthony Niemi was just on his game. Anthony Niemi never saw another playoff series quite like that his whole career. He was a backup. He was not supposed to be as good as he was, and he held down that net. He held down the pipes, and we won in 2010. Now, we won an overtime winner from Patrick Kane. Regardless, he was a vital, vital part of that. Another one that I think of is obviously in 2015, Tampa Bay Lightning facing the Chicago Blackhawks. Ben Bishop, he was the former goaltender of Dallas Stars. He went to Dallas after the 2015 season. He held down those pipes. Every single game of the 2015 series, except the one where the Hawks won the cup, ended in one goal differential. 1-2, 1-0, 2-1. That's how those games ended. The series always will come down to the goaltending. The problem that I have with Winnipeg, Braden Holtby, he's definitely stats-wise best goaltender in the league right now, this season. He has this ability to just crap the bed when he's in the playoffs. It's a talent. I don't think I've ever seen a goaltender quite do it like him. I'm amazed. I think this year they might actually do it. I think this year we might see a Canadian team win the cup. Between Toronto, even Ottawa. Like, Ottawa is very unpredictable right now. They may not have a stellar goaltender. They may not even have a stellar defense in front, but they're just very, very unpredictable in their games. Montreal still hasn't clinched. We're waiting on Montreal or Columbus. I'm more of a Columbus guy. I really hope Columbus wins, or not wins a cup, but I just hope they clinch. I like to see that. I'm a big Elvis Merzlikins fan, and I'd love to see that. Coming from the West outside of Winnipeg, I wouldn't count St. Louis out, and I wouldn't count the Kings out. The Kings have been steadily rising these past couple seasons, and we've been getting a constant Kings-Oilers matchup, and I think the Oilers have whooped them the past couple times. Unfortunately, the bad thing about the Kings is they have a lot of people coming back from injury during these playoffs. They have 9 people. They have 9 players on the injured on IR right now. 9. However, they're getting some back before the playoffs, which will be nice. But those players are coming in cold. That's something to look out for. John, you mentioned Edmonton. I would love to see McDavid win a cup. Goaltending's not there. Defense isn't there. Before the trade deadline was happening and the Hawks ended up with Spencer Knight, I really thought Spencer Knight was going to go to Edmonton. And I thought that was the perfect spot for him. Nice, young, hot goaltender. Outside of that, I don't see Carolina doing anything. I think the Devils just lost bad to somebody. I think they lost bad to the Rangers, I'm pretty sure. They lost bad to somebody. I don't remember who. Carolina's had some injury trouble. Washington, that's great that Ovi broke the goal record. That'll be the highlight of their season, unfortunately. You can always see Florida going back to back. I think that after that Seth Jones trade, even though Seth Jones is not a stats player, you look at the deeper stats in hockey and everything, and you see that he's just not a good player. On the ice, it's a little bit different. He just looks good on the ice. He's always where he needs to be, but he doesn't always play the best on there. Like sometimes, we call him a pylon. That's what he is sometimes. Toronto, still at the top. I hope they win. Toronto is I would love to see Toronto win. Like Toronto, if they finally got through those floodgates, they broke it last year and then they ran it. Who did they run into last year, Caleb? In the second round. I think they ran into Florida, correct?
Florida? Yeah,
I think they ran into the Florida Panthers after finally getting out of the first round. Well, this year, Toronto should not be playing anybody that they've previously lost to because Boston has been eliminated already. I see it's just so hard to pick. Obviously, you got your Winnipegs. St. Louis looks a little bit scary and the Kings look a little bit scary. There's so much. I mean, I think there's more to talk about in who didn't make the playoffs than who did.
Would a little bit more information on because I have a post pulled up right now on basically what the matchups are going to be in the first round. So I have the matchups for you. Would you want me to give you that and then you can make a decision?
Yeah, we can all go over it then.
All right. We're going to start with West. So it looks like this is from Elliot Friedman, right? The big hockey guy. He just posted this about 20 minutes ago. Blues versus Jets, Avs versus Stars, Wild versus Golden Knights, Oilers versus Kings. And that's what it's looking like it's going to be in the West.
Oilers-Kings matchup, man. I'm going to watch all 7 games of that. That is going to be just another gritty match.
And then the East, it's going to be Senators, Maple Leafs, Panthers versus
This is
Lightning.
all subject to change, by the way, right? With 1 game left in the regular season.
There's 1 game left. One game left, I think that matters.
Devils, Hurricanes, and then Capitals are either going to play Canadians or Blue Jackets.
Canadians just got their ass beat by the Blackhawks, man. I just want to put that out there. They just got the Blackhawks just picked up a bunch of guys. And I don't know if you know how hockey free, drafting and everything works, but in hockey, you can be drafted and then you can go back to college, finish off your college season. And then once your college season ends, you can immediately join the NHL.
What?
There are dudes who played on the Blackhawks today, Wednesday, and yesterday, Tuesday, who they were just in the hockey version of March Madness 3 days ago.
Well, they were just in the Frozen Four, and now they're
Frozen Four.
Going
They immediately played for the Chicago Blackhawks. So they had a bunch of guys who was their first NHL game ever. They lost. They were in a must-win situation to get into the playoffs, and they lost.
You know how much confidence I'm gonna have?
Telling you right now. I don't know enough about hockey. That's why I let this segment off to Matt and Caleb. Do not stick for the Canadians. All right, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now. They are going to have to play much better hockey teams 7 games in a row than the Chicago Blackhawks. I love the Blackhawks. I love the Blackhawks. Okay, you can't lose to the Blackhawks and then expect to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not going to happen. Matt, back to you.
Carolina plays Montreal tomorrow. So Carolina's probably going to sit all their main goaltenders. They're basically their starting line. Most of them are going to sit. Most of them. But
they just lost to the Chicago Blackhawks, so
Yeah, the Canadians, they need this win. So they might have actually gotten a little bit. I don't see where Columbus's game is at tomorrow. Maybe are they playing right now? Oh no, they won today, but I don't see them playing tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a little nervous about Montreal now. Because I don't know where tiebreaker goes. If they get points,
they got Demidov. They got that Russian guy, their draft pick.
Demidov?
They armored up. They armored up. They got reinforcements. I don't even know if they're home, but if they're home, that place is gonna be buzzing. Because those Montreal fans are different gravy. I'll tell you.
French, they are home.
English, whatever language, they'll let you hear it. So that's gonna basically be like a playoff game.
Well, gentlemen, we go ahead, Matt.
I don't know who's going to win this playoffs. This playoffs is wide open in my opinion.
I was just going to ask. We have to wrap it up here. We're coming close to our time here on WJOB. So if you want to make one guess, so we can clip it and we can say if you're right or wrong in a couple months. If you had to take a team, Caleb, you too, Ant, you as well. Ant, how about you? Ant, who are you going to go with?
Let me see.
You and I are not hockey guys enough to say this. I'm going to take the Oilers, man. I'm going to take the Oilers. I know what you said about the goalkeeping, but like you said, if a guy turns it on, it's lights out. And I think maybe the Oilers do that.
I'm taking the Capitals. Washington.
All right. Caleb, how about you? We'll give Matt a little bit more time here.
Give me the Evil Empire. Give me the Tampa Bay Lightning once again.
Oh, you piece of crap. you piece of crap.
Give me the Evil Empire. Give it to me. Playoff pedigree, Vazzy and
all right, man.
Yeah,
game on the line. The Martians have the death beam pointed down at Earth. You got one playoff series. You got one playoff run. Who are you taking?
You know what? Against my better judgment.
We're not going to hold it against you, Matt. We're not going to hold it against you.
Against my better judgment. I'm going to say the Oilers. I don't know. I have an itch. McDavid was just there last year. Maybe they'll turn it on again. Yeah, I know. I have an itch. Maybe Gary Bettman's like, you know what? I like the Blackhawks young core. We're going to put them in on the Eastern Conference.
Completely defy all the playoff standing rules. That would be great. Well, folks, whether you're listening on WJOB 1230 AM 104.7 FM, you're going to move on to something else. Whether you're watching on Jed TV, Spotify, or YouTube, we thank you very much for joining us. From John Mastay, Caleb Bernard, Matt Lamsky, and the host of It's My Turn with Anthony Hudson, we thank you for joining us and have a good rest of your day. Matt Lamsky.
I promise you I will return if you take me back. Let them get high, let them get stoned. Everything will be alright if you let it go. Let them get high, let them get stoned. Everything will be alright if you let it go. modern lies. Stick with me, Jesus, till the end of time. Shine down a light on me and let me know. And take me in your arms and never let me